What's up, Capoeira Nation? Welcome back to the Capoeira Experience podcast. Thank you so much for being part of the Capoeira community and enjoying the Capoeira community, especially now that we have so many Capoeira events going on, and then there's so much stuff going on right now, and then traveling, and then just make sure you support first your school, and then start traveling and supporting around. That's the best part of being the Capoeira community. Like I always say, we cannot be a community if we are not traveling and be part of the community. So I always been fan of music, and that's totally my weakness. Is I'm so weak on the music part, especially making lyrics and then making the music. I'm a big fan of those that are able to create music and to bring that music to the Hada. And then today I have a guest. We had a connection through a mutual friend, and then he's a capoeirista all the way from Brazil, and then he also is a English teacher, and which is cool to have somebody that can explain us and bring to the English speakers how the lyrics works and how have some tips and dive a little bit on the music creation. So today I have the pleasure and to have instructor Albatroz. How are you doing, man?
Great, man. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm so glad to be part of your podcast, and I'm really excited to share whatever I have to offer, because as you said, like being part of a community, I think that we all learn from each other. We all have something to offer, regardless of the time that we've been practicing capoeira, regardless of our belts, our labels, you know, it doesn't matter if you're an instructor or a professor or a master, whatever. There's something that you can add, and this is something that I'll start talking already because I've got some students of mine that they are really young students.
Yeah,
They're like white belts, white and yellow belts, and you know what happens? They've been composing songs already,
that's
and this
so
is
cool.
something really cool. It's something really cool. I think that they got this from me because on a daily basis, I've been always encouraging them. I tell them, regardless of your belt, it doesn't matter how much effort you dedicate like week, go who have a song already, and that's beautiful. So I totally agree with you. We have something to share. So I'm here. Whatever you need, just count on me.
Yeah, for sure. And then like you said it perfectly, and I totally agree with that. We're totally on the same page on that. That we can learn from the very beginning to like you said, you have white courts students, and then we can learn from them from their experience, and then we can use that experience for us to get better to provide information for the next courts, and then it's just
Sure.
it's a cycle. Everybody learns from everybody, and then that's pretty cool, makes me very happy. Yeah, so the
Totally. Totally.
what is your social media so people can find you there and can see what do you do there?
It's it's so easy. It's my nickname in capoeira. It's Albatroz, right? So it's Albatroz with a Z, GCB. That's it. Albatroz GCB. Find me, follow me, and let's talk.
Yeah, for sure. You have really cool content there, and it's really nice to see putting all the stuff information out there.
Yeah, I it's not exactly a professional account, but it ended up being, because as you mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, I'm also an English teacher, but I share mostly capoeira things. So
Yeah.
some pictures of the trainings that I have with my students. I shoot some videos. Recently, I started with a pilot project, which was it's supposed to be a channel. It's still under development. I've got this student of mine. His nickname in capoeira is Barba,
Okay.
and he's a professional photographer. And one day we were talking to each other, and I decided to shoot this video in English. explaining the meaning of some words in Capoeira Cantigas. And
Nice.
then he added some subtitles, and that was it. So I said, why not? Because it's, and this is something that I gotta tell capoeiristas who live abroad. It's also difficult for Brazilian people to grasp the meaning of some words.
Huh.
So sometimes we've got Brazilian people who say, "What's the meaning of this?"
Yeah, yeah,
Because we're talking about archaic Portuguese,
yeah.
and we don't speak archaic Portuguese. We're talking about regional vocabulary. So I live in São Paulo, but maybe we're going to be listening to a song that was composed in the Northeast. So there's probably some slang from the North
Huh.
that I don't know.
Yeah.
You see? So
Interesting.
it's not about foreigners. It's about the Portuguese language, which is really strong, and the same applies to English because as I study English, so I can be speaking from people like from New York, and it's not going to be the same from people from Indianapolis. So that's it. So
Yeah.
man, it's the idea from shooting that video. I added the subtitles in English, but that could be easily applied for Brazilian people
That's so funny.
who probably don't know the meaning of that song.
Yeah, yeah,
That's so
yeah.
funny, but it needs to be said, because probably foreigners, they think, as you said, oh, it's my weakness. No, maybe it's not only your weakness, but also Brazilian people weaknesses.
Yeah, yeah. The my weakness in the music is the thing to remember the lyrics, and it's just like
I
also
got it.
no, oh no, I guess that's an excuse, right? I guess no, that's an excuse, but is the effort that I put into music is less that I put into movements or teaching. So
I see.
it's something that I have to practice more. And then the way I remember better the lyrics is when I write them on paper, because
Okay.
I can read it 100 times on the computer or on my phone, and it just goes away.
And that's how you do when you're learning a second language. For example, I'll always tell my students, my English students, now I'm not talking about capoeira students, because there are different learning styles.
Yes.
Some people learn better by like verbalizing it, just so the more you repeat it, the easier it gets. Some people learn better by writing. Some people learn better by visualizing it. So maybe if you print the lyrics and you look at it like a few times, like your brain is going to recall the lyrics, you
Yeah.
know? So I also share the same strategy that you mentioned. I got to write things.
Yeah.
If I don't write something, I don't get it.
Yeah.
So, and especially now that we live on like an internet world, like so everybody's on the internet, like social network, that people don't write things anymore.
That's
It's
true.
harder. So
Yeah.
maybe a piece of advice that I would give people is like, okay, get a piece of paper and please write something. I
Yeah.
know it's difficult to write something in Portuguese, but then again, contact me, send this to me. I can correct. There's no
100%.
there's no problem. I've got this friend. I think you I think you know him. It's Quebrado. Quebrado. I
Yeah.
talk to Quebrado every week. Every week, Quebrado sends me like lyrics and say, hey, Albatroz, can you correct this to me? Can you check this pronunciation for me and stuff like that? So man, it's just a matter of finding your path. It's like the easiest path for you.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. And then it's good to have that connection of correction, because and then you
Uh huh.
have a bit better pronunciation, you have a better understanding of what you are going to say. It's just we should find the correction.
Uh huh.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and on the internet sometimes we don't find it. Sometimes you
That's
go on
true.
Google, for example, you Google it,
It
and
makes no
there's
sense.
so many variations.
Yeah,
There's
it
so
makes no
many,
sense.
so that's tricky. That's
Yeah,
tricky. So sometimes talking to like a Brazilian person, I'm not saying that Brazilian people understand it all.
yeah,
As I mentioned in the beginning, like there are Brazilian people that they don't know the meaning of some words that are used in Capoeira Cantigas.
yeah,
So, but maybe if you contextualize it, if you get the culture thing, the society thing, or even a dictionary, because we have easier access to dictionaries,
Yeah,
then it's easier to explain, you know?
yeah, totally. Very, very easy to explain. And now, like, when did you start a capoeira? What year?
Okay, I started capoeira in 1996. I was 6 years old.
Yeah,
I had a cousin of mine who used to train capoeira here in Jundiaí. Jundiaí is a city that, like, there's a lot of capoeiristas in town. There's a lot of groups, and even though we are not close to the capital, São Paulo, Jundiaí is quite famous in the, you know, in the capoeira society because of
nice.
Mestre Han. Mestre Han was one of the first masters here. He traveled to the U.S. along with Mestre Acordeon. So a lot of people, they know Jundiaí and they come to Jundiaí because of this.
Oh,
So
cool.
I started back then, 1996, Group Capoeira Brasil. I've always been Group Capoeira Brasil. I have
Nice.
never stopped playing capoeira. Thank God. I always say this. I've never had an injury. So man, since 1996, I've been training, and it's been my passion. That's
That's
it.
so cool, man. That's so cool. And then it's like, like from 1996 to probably what, early 2000s, like 2005, 2006, when the internet started kind of like booming. And then you start finding lyrics online, and then like very barely starting the capoeira information online. And then how did you learn music through online, or do you used to find like a lot of music online, or you have to go to mestres or see or listen to CDs, or and then write them down, and how do you learn the process of music in there?
Yeah, I've always been a good fan of the old school style, you know. And
Nice.
I sometimes I joke with my students because it used to be harder for you to get lyrics, you know.
Yes.
They're like, I have this thing that I tell. I had some friends like, hey, you know, can you show me that lyric? And the friend would say, okay, I'll only give you one lyric if you give me another in exchange.
Nice.
So it used to be really fun. Like, so it was difficult, but it
Yeah.
was nice, you know, this
Yeah.
thing of okay, so I gotta offer something in exchange.
Yeah.
So I've always been a good fan of this old school style. But obviously, after internet started advancing and people were posting more things online,
Yeah.
I don't know if I used to be checking lyrics, but I would be listening more online.
Okay.
So on YouTube and stuff like that, I would go there and okay, so I would listen to a CD that it would be harder for me to get it like physically.
Yeah.
So then internet made it possible, thank God, right?
Yeah.
This conversation that we're having right now, my
Exactly.
goodness, how would I know you? How would I know you without the connection on social networks and stuff like that?
100%.
So, but yeah, I adapted, but I still have the old school style. I still write things in paper. Sometimes my students, they ask me for a song. I go there and I write it and I give it in paper, or I go on WhatsApp and I send the lyrics, I send the audio. You know, I
Okay.
explain it a little bit. So it's a mix, I would say. But
Nice.
in the beginning of 2000, no, I would still be old school style.
Nice. And then that was my point. That like when we started to learn capoeira music, or to learn instruments, you had to go and ask the teacher or the instructor or the mestre, and they ask like, hey, can you teach me? And then now, you have all the information on the tip of your hands, on the tip of your fingers. You type it in, and you have a bunch of information on YouTube, and you have music, you have instruments, and then now you can find the access. So now it should be, hopefully, it should be easy for people to learn and to find lyrics, and to like at least like find information out there to like you said, like all the lyrics, you just can go Google it, you just find there, and then if you have a question, you just send it to you, and then be like, hey, is this song right? And then is the right words, and then you can practice and write it down, and then you just go from there. But now today's days is way easier.
and when I told you that we should be mixing things, the thing is like we gotta support, right? So for example, people like you,
Yeah.
man, you have like the whole infrastructure for things. You like you dedicate, you invest on it. So if I tell you go only old school style, man, then I'm against your collaboration for the community. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. For
so
sure.
that's why I said we should go halfway.
100%.
So all right, let's do it. Let's do it old school style because then I can save the traditions. The
Yeah.
thing of okay, the organic way, but also supporting people who like to do this. I'll give you an
100%.
example. 2 years ago, I was invited by a dear friend of mine, Fernando Saverio. He is Mestre Paulinho Sabia's student,
Okay.
and then he decided to shoot to record an album, uh, fully songs written by him, me, and another friend who is Contramestre Morcego. So the three of us, during pandemic, that was crazy. During pandemic, we decided to rehearse and practice on Zoom.
Damn, that's
So like
crazy.
every week, we would meet on Zoom. We would rehearse and practice. I guess it was like an average of 13 songs that we wanted to be in the album. So we did it for like 5 months, and then one day we met in Minas Gerais to record the album.
Okay.
And our dilemma was, okay, how is this album gonna be? Is it gonna be like a physical album for people to buy in
Yeah.
events? So we're gonna sell it, or we're gonna do it something like different online that we can make it available for people all over the world.
100%.
And dude, we decided for the second option,
Yeah.
and that's how it went. We made it available on Spotify, we made it available on Deezer and on YouTube, because obviously, physically saying, okay, the physical CD, there is something about it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
But if we wanted to reach more people, if you wanted to make the community stronger, and if you wanted to make our songs more accessible, so okay, let's do it online then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a mix. It's a mix. Eventually, we're gonna do something like this. Okay, one day we're gonna get the physical CDs, but
Yeah.
why not make it available on Spotify? This conversation that we're having right now, we're doing it right now because it's the easiest path. But I'm sure
100%.
that one day I'll go to Indianapolis and we do it in person. We can do it
100%.
like face to face. I'll meet your
100%.
students. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So 50%. That's it.
Yeah. 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 I totally agree with that. And then the supporting part is so important too, because, we again, without the support, and then without the support of the community, there is both ways, right? Like the community is gaining from the music, and is bringing that music to the Hada, but is also at the same time supporting your work and letting people know that that song is yours, and then comes from you guys, and you guys put all the work, all the effort, and all the time, because it's also time that you invested in there, and
That's it.
it's work, it's some work. Yeah. So where do you think people can start
Amazing.
to creating music, like exercises or research or practice, how people can get started, the first step to that?
Okay. I guess that the first step would be thinking of an overall theme. So let's think about it. I want to write a song about malicia. Okay. I chose a difficult word, but all capoeiristas understand what malicia is, right?
Okay. Okay.
So I want to write a song about malicia. That's the overall idea. Then after that, think about words that connect to malicia. So think about it, write them down. As if you were brainstorming.
Okay.
I usually tell people that that's my way of composing songs. All right, I'm not saying it's the easiest path or it's the best way, but my way of writing songs is like I come up with an overall idea, then I go through a brainstorming on the words that are connected to that, and then I get those words and I start writing random sentences.
Okay.
And then after 2 or 3 days, I go back to those notes, and then I start organizing those sentences.
Okay,
And
cool.
then I think about rhyming, and then I think about the melody, and then I think about the chorus. Some
Okay.
people they they go like the other way around. They
Yeah.
they they start about the from the chorus, and I got songs like this. One day I was playing, and then I came up with a chorus. Okay, this is gonna be my chorus, and then I write the full
Huh.
lyrics. But for somebody who doesn't have a song yet or has never written a song yet,
Yeah.
maybe thinking of an overall theme and then writing random words, see if you can come up with sentences.
Okay.
That would be nice.
Okay.
Another exercise, but this does not to be in order to write a song, but it's an exercise that I got from a elementary teacher of mine like long ago. She asked us to rewrite songs.
Oh, cool.
So for instance, you get a song, you get a song, and then you change one word or another per verse, you
Nice.
know?
Yeah.
That's the beginning because then you're practicing. Then you can check if you know how to rhyme.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's an
Yeah.
exercise. I'm not saying that you're gonna change capoeira songs and start singing them in the hardest. No, no,
Yeah.
no. But
Yeah.
it's an exercise.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Or maybe, for example, thinking about words that rhyme. Okay, so you write cantar, jogar, um, maliciar, dançar, lutar. You
Yeah.
start writing these words.
Yeah.
Maybe these words are gonna help you come up with an overall idea, and then you go through the process of writing. So there are many ways. You see, like,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna tell me, okay, the best way for me is this path.
Yeah.
To me, usually it's like what I told you: overall idea, brainstorming, sentences, then rhyming, then melody, then chorus, and the last thing that I do, I'll think about the talking. You know,
Nice. Okay. Oh, cool.
when I
Okay.
write a song,
Yeah.
I don't think about the talking that I'm gonna use. For example, one of my songs, one of my favorite songs that I composed, when I first thought of it, when I ended, I thought of using it for São Bento Grande da Regional. Nowadays, I don't do it in São Bento Grande Regional. Nowadays, I use it for Banguela.
That's
So
funny.
you see,
Yeah.
it changes, it changes,
Yeah.
it changes. So
That's funny. Yeah.
a song for a song to be ready, it's gonna take time. It's not something that in 1 week you're done and
Yeah.
okay, people will sing in the rodas. Perhaps it will be like a 6 month project,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you don't have to worry. No need to rush. You know.
Yeah. 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 100%. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta be a little bit like again more organic for you to be able to like so it comes naturally, it comes out naturally, and then you can understand how it works, you can understand where you're going, and then you also have to like it.
Yeah, and it's not something like I tell my students, you're not writing a song to be famous.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not
100%.
writing a song for people like necessarily for people to be singing in the rodas.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're writing a song just to like have a better command of the Portuguese language,
Yeah.
or it's something that you're gonna write a song for a friend as a gift.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's not the final goal. That's not the final goal. When I
100%.
wrote my songs, I didn't I didn't think about okay, people will sing my song in Indianapolis. Not
Yeah.
necessarily. Okay, if
Yeah.
they do so, amazing, amazing,
For
let's
sure.
do
Yeah,
it.
of course.
But that's not my final goal. That's not my
Yes.
final goal.
Yeah. 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 For sure. And then that way you can, because it can be a hit or it cannot, so that way you don't have the expectation of being like, oh yeah, this song is going to be famous, and then like you doesn't get famous, and then you like, it didn't work, I'm just gonna quit, I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah, and then you get frustrated.
Yeah.
There's no pressure. There's no pressure. Just write it, write it. Write 10, 20 songs, and okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Just have fun with it, and then enjoy the process, and enjoy the that does, and again, doesn't have to be perfect either, because sometimes, unfortunately, today's days we are looking just for perfection, it have to be perfect, and then it never comes out. It just stays on paper, and then you never sing it in the hada.
Definitely.
Yeah, because you also have to sing in the hada and see how the energy feels in the, and then see how it works in the hada, how you feel the energy in the hada, and then like you said, and then switching the speed, and then be just try and try and try and try.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember,
Definitely.
so somebody told me, I don't remember who told me, but it was with Mr. Kim. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I remember they say like he made a lyric, like writing on the bus, that he was just like that, like the entire lyric, and he was like, yeah, I was writing in the bus, or Mr. Kim told me that he was writing in the bus, and then something came up, and then he just like start writing it there, and then it just happened.
Yeah, and inspiration works like that. Like, it's not gonna happen if you tell me, okay, so Albatroz, write a song to me now.
Yeah.
Come on, no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Sometimes it like you're driving it. Sometimes you're driving, or sometimes you're coming back from an event, or you saw something that made you feel inspired,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
then you think about it, but not necessarily you're gonna write that at that specific moment. This
100%.
happened to me, like my song Minha Bagagem. I wrote this song because I saw Mestre Paulinho Sabiá one day in one of the courses that I attended. He was talking about bagagem, capoeiristas who have a bagagem, and then it was like, my goodness, how does it feel like for foreigners to listen to the word bagagem?
Yeah.
What if I explain what bagagem means to me?
Yeah.
And then I wrote the song.
Oh, cool. You should send me
So
some of the lyrics.
the song came, yeah, yeah. So the song came from this. I was like, what does it mean for me?
Huh.
And then the process of brainstorming, I wrote other things that were related to bagagem. So, for example, camaradagem,
Oh,
you
cool.
know.
Nice.
So these were things that I thought of,
Yeah.
and then I was able to write a song.
Nice. Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah. So, and then he just like uh uh get the inspiration, like, so I don't know if that ever happens to you, but sometimes you get ideas while you shower. Like on the moments that you
Definitely,
cannot
most
write
of
it
the
down.
time.
And then you just in the shower, and then you just like, you just like, oh, what do you think about this before? And yeah, it's all the time happens.
That's why I always have my phone around. I always have notes that I can write something down. Or
Nice.
sometimes
Okay.
I send to my students or a friend of mine, Saverio, this friend of mine from Rio. Sometimes I send him like, hey, I was thinking about this. Tell me if it's worth, like, can I keep writing or it's bullshit? No, I'm not gonna write about this. And then we joke about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes my mastery, I did this twice with my mastery. Like he sent me like just a paragraph, like four verses, and said, "Hey, keep writing." And then I go, or I do the other
Nice.
way around. I send him one verse, and I say, "Hey, mastery, go ahead, keep writing."
Nice.
And that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So for people who struggle, maybe writing a song with a friend, this could also be something cool, like
Yeah.
a challenge.
Yeah.
You can do this with your students. Split them in two groups. Okay, this group is gonna write a song about I don't know, think of a theme,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you assign people these themes. I did this when I traveled to Argentina. I did this with the guys, and one song
Yeah.
came up there. Like it was just an exercise, something like silly,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it worked. It worked. People
That's so
composed.
fun. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
why
so fun.
not? Why not? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's so fun. I think I was in a workshop one time where back in Venezuela, I think I don't remember who did that workshop, but I think they also did the same where they split the groups or different groups, and then each group had to like come up with little lyrics, and then all those lyrics at the end you have to like put all of them together, and then like
Yeah.
verses and all the stuff, and then it was actually really cool. That's a good idea. Yeah, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you can do this like with your students, for example. Okay, guys, so this month we're gonna write a song together,
Yeah,
and then like I don't know, each day of the week somebody is supposed to write a verse.
yeah,
I don't know, you just play around.
yeah.
That's what I said. Don't demand too much from yourself.
100%.
It's been a while that I don't write a song, and then people ask me, hey, when are you gonna come up with a new song? And I say, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
maybe one day I'll come here and there will be a new song. But in order for this to happen, it's a bunch of things that I need to add.
yeah,
And then eventually there will be a new song or not. I will write something, and then this is not going to be a song. It's just I have, for example, something that is more of a poem than of a song.
okay,
So it's not
cool.
a song. It's a poem. It's
Yeah,
there. One day maybe I'll change. One day maybe I'll come up with a melody, and that's it. But there's no pressure. That's
yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah, 100%. And I admire la Mr. Shkilo, or like Mr. Suasuna, or Mr. Tony Vargas, those like Mr. Cordion, that they made so many CDs on so many music, since they made so much music. And then Mr. Kim, that they make so much music, and it's hard, man. It's I don't want to put the word hard, but it takes work. It takes work. It takes a lot of thinking, and it takes
Sure,
a lot of
sure.
energy on putting the
Experience,
work.
right? Experience.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And then where you can be, like, just riding the bus
Definitely.
and be like, oh, look, I have a song now. I just wrote a song on the bus on my way to work. Yeah, yeah.
That's
how
it.
how how do you think people can understand, um like, the lyrics making, like, how can people understand the music and like situations? What do you thoughts about that?
Yeah, I still related to the themes, as I told you.
Okay.
I guess that it depends on the command of language that a person would have. For instance, um, so many capoeira songs they talk about uh, farms because of the old past that we've got, so because of the slavery times and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, for instance, think about farms and related to that, or how many songs do you know about them?
Yeah.
I was in Colombia recently, and I had a class with kids, and it was funny because usually, and for example, my nickname is a bird. Albatroz is a bird, and we
Okay.
usually give nicknames like this, right? So we've
Yeah.
got Colibri, we've got Ben TV, we've got Beija-Flor, we've got Albatroz,
Yeah.
and there's so many capoeira songs that they talk about birds or that they talk about animals.
Yeah.
So this could be a thing. So how many animals in Portuguese do you know, and how many capoeira songs can you think of? That's
That's true.
something,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know.
That's true. Yeah.
So we can talk about animals. We can talk about like farming. We can talk about chapéu. Today I was thinking about this word, chapéu. How many capoeira songs can you think of that they use the word chapéu?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah,
So that's a way of practicing. That's a way of understanding or studying or researching.
yeah,
Get a word, get an overall idea, and then you can work on it. So obviously, when you're talking about history,
yeah,
then it changes. Then you got to read about it.
yeah,
But if you're not talking about history, if you're talking about culture, if you're just talking about an isolated word,
yeah.
then think of other songs that are related. Then just work on it.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, that's nice. That's true. Yeah, like I say, there's like themes for many capoeira songs. Like you said, like there's farms, there's birds, there's so many. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I never thought about
We
that.
can talk about trees. Have you ever thought about this? How many trees are there? Can you think of in capoeira songs?
Yeah,
I was having a session with Fernanda Joyce students,
yeah.
and by the way, I gotta thank her because of her I was able to connect with you,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
and we were I was teaching them a little bit of the meaning of the word engazeira. Engazeira
Oh,
is it's a tree. You know
oh,
that famous song, O Ingá da Engazeira,
yeah.
Engazeira, O
Oh,
Ingá.
yeah, yeah,
Ingá, it's the fruit from the tree. Ingá da Engazeira.
yeah.
And then,
That's funny.
just think about it. Think about how many songs use trees. So you can
Huh.
talk about Jequitibá, you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about Cajueiro, you
Okay,
can
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about,
yeah.
there's so many songs. There's so many songs, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Yeah, that's true. The Samambaya too, right? Is it Samambaya tree?
Yes,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Samambaia. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
a flower. It's more of a flower than a tree.
Yeah, oh, okay, okay, okay. But yeah, like that's so crazy. That's true. Yeah, yeah. Palma, the Palmeira. Oh,
Yes.
now that you have the coconut there. Yeah, yeah. That's funny. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Think about it's an example. How many capoeira songs can you think of that use the word coco?
yeah. That's true. Yeah,
Or if there's not a song about it, so then write a song about it.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
If you can't think of a song that has a specific word, write about it. Maybe it's
100%.
your turn.
Yeah, yeah. 100%. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. That's cool. The it's funny that you also mentioned the understanding of the music too. The the one of my students last music class we were practicing, and then she asked me like what would be the good time to switch to a music, like for example, like swing to a corrido for from corrido to cuadra, and then should we always keep corridos and then once in a while throw a cuadra, or should we like switch it up, or should we mix it up, and then because of the energy of the roda, right? And then is because in the corridos keeps the energy pushing and go. But when will be a good time for you to switch to a cuadra there? What are your thoughts about that?
I don't know if it's my internet connection or your microphone or my earphones, but there's sort of a huge delay. I don't know if I got the question really well, but you're talking about switching from quadra and corridos, like in how to sing it. Is that correct?
That yeah, one the time of switching the cuadra and then corridos, like when to mix them.
Okay. Yeah, and this is funny because I guess that we've been through some moments in which capoeira, because of the modern society and the globalization and stuff like that, we started playing faster. We started singing faster and doing things on a certain speed.
That's true.
And because of that, we don't enjoy much the way that it was supposed to be,
Yeah,
right? So, for example, there are so many songs that we end up not enjoying them because of that comes mostly from the understanding of the talkies. So
that's
if
true.
you understand what the Banguela talk offers and have a better understanding of what the São Bento Regional offers, then you're going to be able to choose the songs for those specific moments of the roda.
That's
You
true.
know,
That's
so
true.
that's what I do. Like, and I gotta confess that after I got a deeper understanding of the talkies, I started playing better.
Oh,
That's so
okay.
funny because it's obviously it's the connection that you make with the instrument and the energy and stuff like that. But
100%. Yeah, that's true.
also, man, there are some songs that they were not written to be the song to end a roda, for instance,
Yeah,
and because they
yeah,
have messages.
yeah.
So and this is something that we also have to think of. Okay, what is the message that I'm conveying? So
Oh,
when I sing something like okay, um, uh, buraco de cobra não pode botar a mão.
yeah.
If I sing this, buraco de cobra não pode botar a mão. What is the message that I'm trying to express? I'm telling someone to be careful.
Yeah,
It's either somebody who's playing or somebody who has just arrived in the roda. So there's something there.
that's a very good
So
point. That's true.
you know, so we gotta start thinking better about okay, what's the message that I want to convey?
Yeah.
You know, so if I want to say adeus, povo bom, adeus, I can't sing this like in the beginning of the roda.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah. Yeah, you're leaving at the beginning.
and yeah, and sometimes we do this because we like a song so much
That's true.
that we just want to sing for the sake of singing, and it's not like that.
That's true.
You know,
That's
it's
true.
not like
Yeah.
that. So it's not because you like a song that you're expected to sing it.
Yeah.
And the same applies to your voice. Oh, I really like that song, so I'll sing it. Maybe not. Maybe your voice is not adapted to that song, so you're just gonna listen to that,
Yeah.
and maybe you're not gonna sing it because sometimes we listen to a CD like Mestre Tony Vargas CD. Oh, that famous song Saudade. Man, like come on, Saudade is beautiful, but it's such a difficult
Yeah.
song
Yeah.
for you to sing, you know.
Yeah.
So not necessarily gonna sing that in a roda. You can practice and then you can love it. You can listen to it like 1,000 times,
Yeah.
but not necessarily sing it. So I would answer to your question like this way. We gotta think about the moments. There,
Yes.
there are moments. There are moments in the roda. There are people in the roda. So who is your audience? Who's there?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
For example, it's quite common when you like a certain song that has such a complex vocabulary and you only have beginner students.
Makes no
Don't
sense.
sing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That's true.
Makes no sense. People are not gonna answer to the coro. So then you're
100%.
being
Oh
selfish.
man.
Oh, you just want to sing the song because you love it, but it has such a complex vocabulary.
Yeah. 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 And
You
then the
see,
energy
so
dies.
then you're jeopardizing the energy. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
That's it.
100%. I totally agree with that. Yeah, because I mean, how does it like that too? Like it's like the curse is like very long and it has a lot of wording, and then yeah, it has like a lot of wording, and then people teach these songs to beginners that are no Portuguese speakers. That like 6 months into capoeira, 1 year into capoeira, and just like, man, I have hard time to keeping up with the song because it's it is because, yeah, and I understand the Portuguese. So just like, I can even imagine somebody that doesn't really understand Portuguese yet, that is, it's just like, yeah, you just like mumbling the words, which is fine, but the energy is not really there.
And the same applies to kids. If you're teaching kids, man, like it's difficult. It's
Yeah,
difficult to make them depending on their age,
yeah,
the selection of songs that you're gonna sing, you know.
yeah,
So I guess that's part of preparation. That's why
for
I
sure.
mean, preparation is something.
Yeah,
And so when you have the, and I say it's a huge responsibility. When you have the responsibility of singing in the roda, man, you gotta be really prepared
oh
because
yeah,
you're responsible for the energy of that roda. You're
yes,
responsible for providing the energy for people to play, and then um, people will leave that roda with that memory.
yeah, oh
So
yeah, for sure, yeah,
whatever you sing, man, sing it like from the bottom of your heart and
yeah,
really carefully choose the songs that you're going to sing
yeah,
because you're going to be expressing some messages and people will listen to that and people in the roda will sing that. They will repeat the coro because they understand that is powerful, you
yes,
know?
a hundred
So
percent, totally.
it's much more complex than we think, right?
Yeah, 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 100%, 100%. And then to wrap it up, uh, to wrap it up here, and then to keep moving, what would be the single advice for the capoeira community here with lyric making,
Regarding what? I'm sorry.
with making lyrics and making music? What would you advise for
Okay.
capoeiristas out there, whatever level they are?
My main advice would be write songs. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter like how complex they are. It doesn't matter if you have a melody for that. It doesn't matter if people are gonna be singing in all rodas of the world. Give it a try.
Yeah,
That's how I made my students, as I mentioned, white belts, white and yellow belts, writing songs because I encourage them. And there's this thing of not being judgmental, you know. So don't be too much judgmental.
yeah,
So okay, I have I don't have great command of the Portuguese language. Okay, so ask your instructor's help. Ask somebody else's help, but write something. It can be a four verse thing.
yeah, yeah,
For
yeah.
example, I have a song that my master loves. Man, it's a four verse thing, and then the chorus. It's
Huh.
like this. Sabeça do mestre aprendi, Pelourinho visitei, chibata a dente eu senti, zumbi zumba imitei. Man, it's so simple. Four verses.
That's cool.
You see, and it's one of the songs that my master loves the most.
Yeah,
So it doesn't need to be that complex. Sometimes we think about, oh, I'm gonna write a song, so there's no script. There's no
100%,
script.
yes, yes.
Write it down, share with your friends, sing, have fun with it. And eventually this will be an official song or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah.
imagine the capoeira journey. Like the capoeira journey is whew, how many years,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah,
So there's no deadline. There's no
yeah.
deadline. So I started writing songs when I was red and blue belt.
Nice. Okay, nice.
Maybe that's too late or not,
Yeah,
or not.
yeah,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So my piece of advice is write it,
yes.
share it, have fun with it, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome, man. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, like super complex. I love that. I love that.
Totally.
It comes with practice too. The more you do it, the better you get.
Sure thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, and then we definitely will focus a little more on something specific with music in another podcast and another episode, and then we can, share more of this.
Amazing. It will be a pleasure. It was such an honor for me. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course,
Again, let's connect more, whatever you need. Let's talk. As I said, obviously, the fact that I'm an English teacher makes it easier, right?
for
Because
sure,
then I can connect with people. Because if they don't have great command of Portuguese, then I'll use English in order to make this more accessible.
for sure,
But man, like it's a two-way street.
100%.
Like I've learned so much from you today, so that's it.
Nice. Yeah,
So it's a gain-gain situation, you know.
100%,
Thank you
100%.
so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, and definitely let's stay in touch, and hopefully to see you here in Indianapolis one day.
I will. I will. It will be a pleasure for me.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being part of this episode one more time. And thank you so much for being part of the Capoeira community. I'm very happy you made it all the way to the end. Now, make sure you listen to the next episode next week or the following week or the previous episodes. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. And don't forget to reach out so we can have you on the podcast. Okay. Thank you so much for being part of this amazing journey in the Capoeira community. And I really, really hope to see you one time here in Indianapolis, or I'll see you in the Hada next time. Okay. Keep training, keep your Capoeira school, keep supporting your Capoeira school, and keep training, keep loving Capoeira, keep training, keep playing the Hada. I'll see you in the Hada next time.